Hello, hello, good afternoon, everyone. Just checking the levels, seeing if everything is working. It appears to be working quite well. Awesome. All right, yeah, we are live and good to go. Welcome to the stream. This is Kerbal Space Program. I am Dan Bear Pig, and we are ready to do some preparations to hopefully get out of the system of Kerbin and the Mun and Minmus. We might even launch something past Minmus today. We'll see. First, we need to set up a bigger communications array so that anything we do launch outside of Kerbin's sphere of influence, we can actually talk to it and control it and get the science back. Because that's what we are after. We are after some more delicious science points. So I'm just hanging out here at my station. I've done some work off camera, not as much as I had hoped, but pretty good amount of work. We are a little bit low on our return capsules right now, but that should be fine. Let's see. Let's bring back up the UI. Currently, the only person aboard the station holding the fort down solo is our pilot, Philip Brewer. And so the reason we're short of these escape pods and return capsules is that I've done part of a crew rotation. I'd intended to bring up some more of these, but ran out of some time. If you were here yesterday, I did a little bonus stream of my family's Minecraft server Halloween event, Piglin Trick or Treat, and that went off really well, but it sure did take a lot of preparation. So that's taken up a lot of time and was well worth it. So we also have these two landers that need to be deorbited. And I don't think I can actually control these without crew aboard, which is problematic for deorbiting because neither of these can land. So what I would need to do is send them on their way and then return my crew in another way. So I think these have enough power that they could actually push and then be a safe return vehicle. So that might be what we do, but it's not particularly urgent. We've got plenty of docking ports available. I did a couple of refueling missions as well, and then I went to do go pick up those escape pods that are still stuck in orbit because we're out of electric charge, and I can't remember exactly what it was. I think I didn't have the proper means to actually bring them home, so I just came right back. So used up a little bit of that fuel, but I've got a pretty good amount, so we're pretty good to go there. So mostly I'm just up here as a very nice way to start the stream. Just, it looks nice from up here. Kerbin is a very pretty planet. So let's head to the Space Center and catch up. Last week we had repaired the rover that Sean's cannery had gotten stuck on the moon, and found out that Sean's cannery's engineers are utterly incompetent, and no wonder they got it stuck, because that thing was a nightmare to move. But we did it. We completed their contract for them, and we got 200,000 spaceos for it, which is nice. But yeah, we left it as a heap of garbage on the moon, because that's what it is. It was a heap of garbage. So let's see. I've got a notification here. Contract complete. Which one was that? Oh, rescue Tyson from orbit of Kerbin. Yeah, he came home off camera. So we rescued him on camera, and then afterwards, after the stream last week, I brought him home in an escape capsule. So let's go ahead and dismiss that right now. Let me launch CCAN. Let's take a quick look at the Modlist, because it has had a minor update. And here it comes up right now. Move it where I can see it, and then let's go ahead and let you guys see it. There it is. Checking for updates. There we go. Filters. Oh, there are a couple upgradable. I'm not going to do them now. Ooh, distant object enhancement. Interesting. I wonder what the update is for that. I'm not going to worry about it right now. It's not crucial. So installed. So I figured out a couple of things. One of the issues I was having with taking a screenshot and the camera going all funky was the controls for camera tools. So I've rekeyed a few of those, and that is not going to be a problem anymore. And let's see, we noted that Marina Zhuganova, was that who we had repairing the rover? I think that was. Her hair had turned white. And the reason her hair had turned white was, let's see, Texture Replacer. This mod here, which is a prerequisite for the Deep Star Map Skybox, which is the higher resolution Skybox that I've got going on right now. Also, we're going to try this one out again, this Reentry Particle Effect Renewed, just because it looks so good, and I don't think it was the cause of the crash that we saw early in this stream series. I think that was just Kerbal being Kerbal. There seemed to be some extra memory leaks in this current patch. So that's the main thing right there. Let's go ahead and we don't need that anymore. I will turn that off. Oop, there we go. Now we can watch just the game. And I didn't mean to click on the astronaut complex there. Let's take a look at our contracts. Active, we've got bring science data from the surface of the moon. And I was a little bit confused that that didn't get completed last time because we picked up a bunch of science experiments from the surface of the moon. And it turns out I am the biggest derp who ever played this game. I didn't take them out of the lander before deorbiting it, so the science burned up in the atmosphere. So technically it got back to Kerbin, but not in a usable form, unfortunately. Science data from space around Duna is something that we should be able to do very soon. In fact, in theory, we've got some headed back now, being watched over by Jebediah and by Valentina and Bill. Bob. Bill is dead. Rip Bill. And explore Minmus. We've orbited Minmus. We've gone on a spacewalk near Minmus, and I think we should have this because we've gone to orbit, but maybe it's because I'm using the lander, and then I'm deorbiting the lander and letting it burn up and bringing the Kerbals home on a different craft. So, but we have returned to Kerbin from orbit of Minmus. But according to the contract and the way the game is handling that, we haven't. So I'll probably need to do something else there. But I mean, that gives us a nice, juicy 16 more science points. And a bunch more Spaceos. But yeah, so what is available? Duna Stone, that's a surface sample thing on Duna, and we are definitely not prepared to do that yet. Attach a new part to satellite. I don't really want to. I made those satellites, and I will decide when they need a new part. Thank you. Oh no. Finish construction of a rover on the surface of the moon. I wonder, I kind of want to accept this just to compare. See, are all the broken rovers the same design, or do they look different? So yeah, this one is experimental engineering, not Sean's cannery, so maybe they've got a better engineering department. Rover mission we sent turned out to be missing a few key parts in its construction. That does not inspire confidence. So, and then they again want me to take it to the target waypoint. Maybe not. Tanbo from orbit of Kerbin. I'm going to go ahead and accept that one. I don't know that we'll do it today. I just want to accept it and get more Kerbals into my crew. Science data from space around Kerbin. Yeah, that's easy. Let's go ahead and take it. We'll get an easy 20,000 Spaceos and a few science points. Build a new orbital station around the moon. Not right now, I think. Science data from the surface of Duna. We're not ready. Jobri from orbit of the moon. That pays a lot. Yeah, we can take that one. And again, we've seen plenty of rescue missions, so I'll probably do those off camera between streams. I want to do something a little bit different and not to repeat the same missions every stream. So let's go ahead, leave facility, and I'm going to take a sip of my drink here. Drink today is coffee because I am very tired. So I went to bed early last night. after the big push to get the Halloween thing done and a bunch of other projects done. And then my kids woke me up for food at about 3 a.m. and then I was wide awake. So I have been up since 3, and then I took a nap shortly before the stream, and that bed is still calling my name, but I'm eager to get this progressed. I have been looking forward to playing this again all week. So let's take a look. ComSat 2. So previously, about a month ago or so, we launched the ComSat 1 constellation, which is in geostationary orbit, and is four ComSats that are now out of date. We have much better antennas available to us now, and so I've got this set up here. These are upgraded ComSats. Let's go ahead and take a look. Yeah, those ones are still in there because of the way I put them inside the fairing on the truss. So we got just this one. This right here is not part of the satellite. This is part of the launch vehicle so that it is controllable even without the satellites attached. But we've got this fuel tank. Oh, right, we've got it this way. That's okay. So we can look at it this way. We've got this Ant engine. Those are the low power but high efficiency engines. They're well more than enough for this thing, even though it's a heavy satellite. We can control it. We can even point it automatically prograde and retrograde. And it's got these folded solar panels. These ones are not ones that can be retracted once they're extended, but we don't need to retract them. They're fine. We'll just extend them once we are out in space, and they will start doing their thing and charging this battery here. And all of that to power this massive antenna dish right here. Let's go ahead and reload this craft. Don't save. I do not want you to save. ComSat 2. So due to this size, we can only fit 3 in a fairing of this size instead of 4, but that is fine. We're going to put them in, let's see, what would that be? 120 degrees offset from each other instead of 90 degrees. So, but this upgrade will be crucial for communicating with craft outside of Kerbin's sphere of influence. So let's give it a launch. Let's head out to the launch pad and send it up to space. I take another sip of my drink. I'm probably going to refill my coffee halfway through the stream, so be prepared for that. And before I forget, let's pull up the cheat sheet on my phone here so that I have it ready. Let's see, Kerbin. All right, and so yeah, we need to take it to 2,863.33 kilometers. Yep, that will do it. And so then we've got what is the orbital or the rotational period of Kerbin is about 6 hours. So then we'll need to put it in a resonant orbit so that we can separate a satellite and get them all evenly spaced around Kerbin. So let's go ahead and pull up the flight recorder. Bloop. There we go. And we will throttle up. SAS on. And we want to look at altitude, acceleration, and dynamic pressure. All right, let's get a launch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. And let's start our pitch over maneuver now. Been watching some other launches, and yeah, some real life rockets start their pitch over really quick off the pad. And part of the idea there is if something does go wrong, now the debris will be scattered off this direction, off to the east, rather than falling back directly on the pad. And also it is important to get the lateral horizontal velocity going as soon as possible. And we are already at Mach 2, and we have SRB burnout and separation. And we are well past maximum aerodynamic pressure as well. Okay. Pitch over a little bit more aggressively here. It's a balance between getting out of the superior part of the atmosphere. We have main engine cutoff, stage separation, and second engine start. Getting out of the superior part of the atmosphere and away from the drag and high aerodynamic forces, and also getting not wasting any energy against gravity. So yeah, that is always the balance there. And let's see, keep my cheat sheet up here. Yeah, 28, 63, 33 is what we want for our apoapsis. And I can point prograde here. And let's go ahead, our dynamic pressure is very low. Let's go ahead and separate the fairing. There it goes. That's a nice view there. I'm always going to say it. I'm going to say it every time, I'm sure. Okay, so yeah, we're up at 150 kilometers for our periapsis, and we're just going to keep coasting until we have basically 2.8 megameters. We should use megameters more often. It's too cool a word to be neglected like this. And I am making it through my coffee at an alarming rate here. Yeah, this is definitely a heavier payload than the previous generation of comsats, despite being fewer comsats overall. Yeah, so if the orbital period of Kerbin is 6 hours, then if I make an orbit that is 4 hours long and separate one satellite at each apoapsis, then that will put them 2 hours apart, but in the same orbit once they've raised their periapsis. So that will get us an even spread and even coverage. For comparison, we've got, yep, these are our 4 current comsats. So we're going to be in the same orbit, but we're not going to be in the same position. All right, we've got 500 kilometers. And as our thrust-to-weight ratio increases, as we burn off our fuel, we are raising that faster and faster. There's 1 megameter right there. (1,500 kilometers). 2 megameters. All right, we're just about there. So we need 28, 63, 33. So a very low thrust to get this last little bit. All right, that is as close as I dare. So now we need to warp to apoapsis and then release the first satellite. And we're already getting way up there. Look at this. All right, let's see. So here we are, and here's apoapsis. We'll be there in 15 minutes. So let's go here. Oh, no, 1 hour and 15 minutes. There we go. I couldn't read that over that. So let's go right here and warp there. Very nice. All right, I'm gonna zoom in here just a little bit. And then let's continue to warp. Oh, and let's watch our electric charge. Yeah, oh, I'm glad I checked that. Let's extend these solar panels. Do I have them set to an action group? I do not. If I did, it would be either 10 or 1. So yeah, that is fine. Let's extend solar panel. Extend. Extend, okay. Having those 3 extended will continue to provide power for the entire craft. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and extend this. And this. And this. As this is the one that we will be deploying first. I'm going to leave those retracted just in case. I don't want them to get damaged. These ones I need necessarily to risk. So how is our electric charge looking now? It is charging very quickly. Excellent. That's what we want to see. All right, we are 8 minutes away from apoapsis, so let's warp a little bit. Don't want to pass it, although... yeah, we don't want to pass it because our periapsis is still inside of the atmosphere. Oh, that's a good point. Let's, once we get to the apoapsis, we want to adjust so that we actually have the orbital period of 4 hours. I should start writing down my flight plan so I don't accidentally almost miss important steps like that. Okay, we're 4 minutes away. Three, 2, all right, so we're under a minute away. Let's go ahead and I'm going to limit the thrust to 20% on this so that we get a little bit finer control. And let's go ahead and throttle up. And this is what I'm looking at right now. We have a safe orbit, so we won't enter Kerbin's atmosphere like this. But this here, the orbital period, I want that to be 4 hours. It would work as 2 as well, but at 2 hours, we would be re-entering Kerbin's atmosphere. So that would be no good. All right, let's actually increase the thrust a little bit. And actually, it looks like we've got enough control like this. So yeah, thrust limiter back to 100. So we are now past apoapsis, so let's change that. Okay, 45. All right, that is pretty good. 4 hours and 4.5 seconds. All right, let's go ahead and deploy this. Let's see, electric charge. Okay, good. I'm going to... let's see, there it is. Oh, right, I cannot retract those panels. I was going to retract them for safety, but nope. Decouple. All right, that's the first one away. And let's go ahead and circularize its orbit. We'll point prograde, throttle down, activate the engines. And let's go ahead and throttle up just a bit. And all the way. Excellent. Yeah, so we want to get the orbital period up to 6 and the eccentricity as close to 0 as possible. And then this satellite will stay fixed over this point on Kerbin. And we'll probably fine-tune it as well, because we're not particularly perfect on this orbit. There we go. We have an orbital period of 1 day and 3 seconds. Not perfect, but it is pretty good. So let's do stability assist, and let's point this thing straight at Kerbin. Just like that. Awesome. And there we go. And we've got plenty of fuel left as well. So we can do some orbit raising and orbit adjusting as needed. There it is in a geostationary orbit. And now if we go here, oh right, let's rename it. That's another thing that I've done. These here I've renamed. So instead of each of them being called KerboCom 1, or 1, 2, 3, and 4, they are now all called KerboCom 1 with a letter. So that is 1B. So this is going to be KerboCom 2A. And that way the number will designate their generation, and then their letter will be which one in that generation they are. So let's rename the vessel. KerboCom 2A. Accept. Awesome. Okay. Now let's switch to the others. And then we will warp to the next apoapsis, which should, in theory, be 2 hours apart. Also 120 degrees apart from the other one. So here apoapsis is in 3 hours and 56 minutes. Looks like yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's because we're a little bit past it. So let's warp to here. And that satellite is away, with a significantly improved range over the previous generation of KerboCom satellites. Right, yeah, we're going to point prograde here. And we are 3 minutes away from apoapsis. Just about there, 1 minute away. All right, and let's see. This thing has does it have electric charge? It should. It does. Okay, cool. So yeah, this one is going to be a little bit iffy. So is this one. Let's go ahead and decouple. And let's rotate away like this. Yeah, I'm worried about damaging these solar panels, but I think we'll be okay. All right, and now throttle thrust is down. Let's say activate the engines and throttle up just a little bit. And full throttle. And just like before, we're waiting for the orbital period to reach a full day. Let's go ahead and extend the solar panels as well. Love that animation, it's so good. Alright, lower thrust for fine control for the end of this. There we go, 1 day and 1 second. That will do it. Let's point it down towards Kerbin. And this one, let's see, rename vessel. This one is KerboCom 2B. And let's see how well spaced we are here. KerboCom 2B, 1A. I think it'll be behind it, yeah. 2A, yeah, 2A, 2B, so yeah, the 2C will be here in this orbit. Excellent. Let's go here and take another sip of my coffee. Delicious. All right, so now, once again, let's see, apoapsis is 3 hours and 58 minutes away. So let's warp to here. think the other thing that we were talking about last week that we need to do is increase the fuel capacity of the moon lander. I haven't made any further progress yet on the one that I showed a preview of, the retro-looking upgraded moon lander. But it is about time for an upgraded moon lander for sure. Alright, we're 4 minutes from apoapsis. $30. Alright. Now, here goes nothing. Oh, yeah, so that one, this happened in my test as well. I don't know why, but even if I change the decouple force of all of the decouplers, this last one, no matter what, is still crazy strong. Nothing I can apparently do about it. I'm counting that as a bug in the game for sure. Alright, so point prograde, activate the engine, and throttle up. Ooh, let's... Why? What? Activate engine. Oh, this is not... Oh, it got caught on there. That was really sketchy. Really sketchy. Alright, but we're okay. Whew. Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't let me stage that. That was strange. But yeah, we definitely want to get this into its proper orbit. And then we'll deorbit the transfer stage there. Alright, our orbital period is up to 5 hours. And there it is. Okay, so 1 day and 4 seconds. Excellent. And it's intact. Whew. It would have been fine with even only one solar panel, but you know, I don't want my symmetry to be messed up here. Not when I worked so hard on it. Okay, let's get a screenshot of this because this is too cool. In fact, let's get a cooler angle. Yeah, like that. Alright, screenshot time. And now let's point back towards Kerbin. I don't think it actually matters as far as the game is concerned, but I want that, so. Alright, and let's check how well did we do. So here is, let's rename it. Kerbal 2C. And I'll probably add a few more to the constellation off camera as well. So let's take a look. So here's 2C, 2B, and 2A. So A, B, C, and we've got a nice triangle. Let's turn on the whole network there. Yeah, so here you can see the triangle. Nice equilateral triangle right there. Like, let's warp just a little bit and watch it in action. Look at that. Very nice. Okay, and that will have significant improvements over the previous network. So what we should do now, is there a transfer window planner? Maneuver planner. Here we go. So here's something that I have not looked at in years. So this has what is called a pork chop plot. Let's see if we can find out when our optimum times to transfer to other planets are. And I wish that this would remember where I put it instead of making me move it every time. There we go. I might get rid of that actually. see if I can get all the mod buttons that are hiding in there to just come over here, because that's so much nicer than this thing here. All right, so... Okay, advanced transfer to another planet, I think is what we want. So we've got... Create node, must select a target for the okay, so celestial bodies. Actually, let's do this from our station. So I think what it's telling me to do is set a target here, or, you know, in the map screen with a right click. There we go. And there's our nice star field. That is why I had installed that texture replacer mod that changed the hair color of my Kerbals. Alright, so celestial bodies. Let's choose Duna. Alright, so yeah, here is our pork chop plot, and it's named that because this shape reminds whoever decided to name it of a pork chop. Sometimes it looks more pork choppy than other times. Either way, now I want pork chops. And basically, on here, you have you've got time, and you have what exactly is it? This is just this is a two-dimensional plot of how much delta V it will take to get from where you are currently to where you're trying to go. And if I include the capture burn, that changes it. Although Duna doesn't necessarily require a capture burn if we can aerobrake in Duna's atmosphere, or if we're just trying to fly by. Okay. Yeah, pork chop selection is what we want. Okay, and yeah, let's not include the capture burn. So if I do this here, yeah, so we can see down here we've got when the departure would be and what the transit duration would be. So how long it would take from then, from departure to get to the target. So departure, okay, so the bottom axis is departure time, and then the top axis is departure or transit duration. So right here would be if we left immediately, whereas over here is if we left in 3 years. Oh, bumped the microphone there. And then we can decide how quickly we want to get there. So if we leave, our optimum transfer is in 1 year and 61 days and would take 350 days to get there. That is how we would get there with the lowest amount of delta V from the orbit that this ship is currently in. So it would take it would only take 1 kilometer per second delta V to take this ship from right here and get it to fly by Duna, just fly by, not be captured, if we left in 1 year and 66 days. And it would take 357 days to get there. If we wanted to leave at the same time but get there quicker, then it would cost us as much as 71 kilometers per second delta V. So it looks like there are a couple of different places we could leave from at the same basic time and get there in just over a year. And this one, is that one more? It is not any more efficient, but it is a lot quicker, actually. Interesting. So what I think I want to do, I want to click there. Okay, select... Okay, ASAP or lowest delta V. Let's select lowest delta V and create a node. Initial orbit must not be hyperbolic. But I'm in a pretty circular orbit, aren't I? I guess that's different enough that it's considering it hyperbolic. Interesting. Let's see, what if I... Actually, I definitely want it to be from here. So what if we circularize this orbit? Let's leave this open. So what I want to do is create some of these nodes and then set alarms based on those nodes. Okay, it did make a node though. Okay, maneuver is in 1 year and 61 days. Okay, cool. So now what I want to do is make an alarm. And let's see. Okay, I was just changing the clock to total number of seconds versus year, day, and seconds. All right. Is there a way I can just simply make a new alarm? Okay, it's like this. Okay. And can I move this? Dang it, I cannot. That's a little aggravating. Okay, so let's, for the purposes of the UI, let's take Kerbal Engineer, and can I? Let's see, this is HUD 4, I believe. Yeah, let's move that out of the way. Okay, cool. I'll be moving it back there, but I want to be able to see this. Okay, time. We want. Yeah, manual time, and we're going to name it transfer window to Duna. Let's just call it Duna transfer window. What is it? 1.09, so 1.1 kilometers per second. Delta V to Duna. Cool. All right, and we will add that alarm. So now I can get rid of this maneuver node because we won't be using that exact ship. But this will let me know that at this time, I think I did it wrong. Edit. Okay, date of alarm. Yeah, I didn't change the date. Okay, so it's putting it right now. So let's see, and that's in 4 minutes. Okay, so it put it 5 minutes out. So what we want then. Okay, so this is 1 year, 61 days, 5 hours. Cancel. Edit. Yeah, I'm learning new systems here. So I can't do a T minus? That's annoying. Let's delete this alarm, and let's do it differently. So let's create an alarm, and let's do it for a maneuver. And the time is year 3, day 314. I think that is correct. And let's call this one Duna transfer window. And yeah, no need for any notes. Let's add the alarm. And will that stay there? Okay, yeah, that's right. It's in 1 year and 61 days. If I delete the maneuver, will the alarm... Okay, good. The alarm is still there. Okay, perfect. That's how we're going to do this. Fantastic. So let's go back to target selection, and let's make one of these for each of the different bodies in the Kerbin system, and that way we will know what our deadline is for preparing a mission to each of these to get there efficiently. So interestingly enough, this will be even before our maneuver to bring Valentina home. But I think... Oh no, we're already here. I think that Jeb will be home before that. Well, I say Jeb will be home. Jeb will be... Jeb will be flying past Kerbin. I don't know if we're going to be ready to bring him home or not. We'll find out. Let's check that next. Alright, so Moho. Let's set Moho as the target. And Moho is a lot harder to get to than Duna. It takes a lot more delta V. So, for example, it looks like right now actually is our optimum time. That's cool. So yeah, lowest delta V. And let's not bother with a capture burn. Actually, let's see. 1.5, including capture burn, would be 5.8. That's huge. So yeah, let's not worry about that. Let's just do the lowest delta V, create node in 16 minutes. Yeah, it's right now. So missing it by 1 day won't be a big deal. So I think that what we're going to be doing today is sending an unmanned probe to fly by Moho, which is an analog for Mercury. Very cool. Let's add an alarm for that. Maneuver. Let's see, Moho, transfer window. And after we send the mission, we will delete the alarm, which is in 12 minutes, 12 and a half minutes. And then we'll add one for the next one, so that we'll always have an alarm for the next best opportunity for a mission to another planet. Alright, back to target selection. Let's take a look at Eve, which is an analog for Venus. Yeah, Eve, okay. Create new, okay. Yeah, and I'm not sure all the calculations that are going into this that'll make these interesting patterns, but this is how it's done. Alright, so lowest delta V, create node. Oh, let's get rid of these. Okay, create node. There we go. And that is in 1 year, 147 days. And it is in the other direction from Duna, since this is burning towards the sun rather than away, but it is a similar size of a burn. Okay, so let's make an alarm for that. Maneuver. Eve, transfer window. And as that comes up, we can see what technology we have available, what Kerbinauts we have available, and based on that, decide what kind of mission we're going to send. Alright, so now let's delete that maneuver node, and let's go back to target selection, Jool, which is a Jupiter analog, and it looks like the best opportunity is in a while, but there's a not bad opportunity very soon. Now can I... Alright, let's first do the lowest delta V and see what that looks like. That's in 1 year and 21 days. Let's get rid of that. What about ASAP? What does that look like? That's in 35 minutes. I'd rather do the one in 19 days. Actually, no, that's really good. So maybe we'll also be sending a mission to Jool either today or next week, one or the other. So Jool has quite a few moons, and so is a really good destination. All right, let's go ahead and add that that alarm then. Fantastic. All right, and now back to target selection, Drez, which doesn't get enough love in my opinion. People tend to forget Drez exists. There's a whole joke about it, but I want to go there. All right, and that is in 3/4 of a year, 1,500 meters per second. Create alarm. Oh, I've done that wrong. Okay, so we'll redo that one in a minute. Okay, so we've got Drez transfer window, add alarm. Yeah, let's redo the Jool one since I messed that up. I derped it. All right, and we want ASAP. Create alarm and maneuver. We want maneuver. There we go. Jool transfer window. Awesome. All right, now delete that. Back to target selection, and finally Elu, the farthest planet out. And it looks like there's also a good opportunity there. Probably not as good as this one. Let's see what the lowest delta V one is first. 1 year and 16 days. Let's go for the ASAP one. So that one was... Actually, what was that one? It was 2 kilometers per second. But ASAP is also 2 kilometers per second, so there's hardly a difference. So, yeah, inconveniently, we're in a prime spot for 3 different extraplanetary missions that we are not particularly prepared for. All right, maneuver. Elu. Oh, there's 2 E's in Elu. Transfer window. Add alarm. All right. Okay, let's design the mission then. That's kind of exciting. All right, Space Center, load up. There we go. Oh, right. I want to move that. Oh, I'll have to wait. That's all right. And the tolerances on these aren't tight. It's not a 1 second launch window. We've got some time. So yeah, we definitely want to go with an unmanned mission. So let's start with the Probodobodine Hex. And let's see, what was it? We needed about 1,500 kilometers or meters per second to do this, and we're only going to go for a flyby, maybe transmit some science home. So let's definitely put some decent batteries on this thing. That's probably good. If we do plenty of solar panel, we'll be fine. So this is going to look a whole lot like those ComSats. Okay, so put 3 of these guys on there. And the main difference is that we're going to add some science experiments, and we want more fuel on this thing. So let's do a couple of these fuel tanks. And let's put, how good is this engine? 320 vacuum? Yeah, let's put a spark engine on the back of that. And that alone has 2,500 meters per second delta V. What does it look like with just one of these? 1,500. So that could do it. What about something in the middle? So this has 27 units of liquid fuel. That has 18. Oh, this is even better. What am I doing with that thing? Ah. So that's pretty derpy there, but that gives me 2 kilometers per second to play with. So let's turn these around. Just like that. There we go. And how's the clearance on that? Not bad at all. And I don't like the way that that just hangs out in space like that. Let's shift this up just a bit. And then this. Like that. Oh, it occurs to me that we're actually going to lose some delta V once we add more parts. For example, communication. Let's see, what are the ranges of this? Generating 2 gigameters. 15 gigameters. Okay, we definitely want the big guy. And yeah, that kills our Delta V. So let's grab one of these and let's use this after all. (1500 meters per second). So what if we use... How much is in this? 24, 27. How big are these? Pretty big. Bit unwieldy. What if we have the donut on the outside of this guy here? That gives us 1700, almost 1800. All right, I think I can live with that. Okay, how does that look? That looks pretty good, in fact. All right, so we've got battery, we've got solar panels, we've got communications, we've got fuel and an engine. We need some science experiments, just some basics. Let's do a thermometer. We don't need 3, we only need 1. Let's do a barometer, as if we don't know the air pressure out in space. And don't we have a magnetometer boom? Yeah, this guy right here. Okay, and that gives me a bit of torque. So let's shift this. Is it even going to process that? Or is there no physics to this part? I think there's no physics to that part. Some parts, the game just does not calculate the physics in order to save on computing power if it's something that doesn't particularly matter. So maybe what we do is something like the Juno mission. Let's remove this from symmetry. Put this guy here. And that helps. That definitely helps. Let's see. Local, and let's see if we can shift this, if that helps with the torque. It certainly does. We set this, if we inset this just a bit. Man, this is a heavy part relative to those solar panels. Yeah, I don't want to clip it too much because then it's not particularly realistic. And we're going to have to remove these from symmetry also, otherwise it will assume two-way symmetry, which we don't want. Okay, that's not in symmetry anymore because it's the only one left. Alright. Let's shift this. Okay, that is helping to balance the craft. And then this one. Okay. So now we're only, we've got a thrust torque of 120 Newton meters. Not the worst, and this thing does gimbal. That's kind of cool. Let's do that. I like that. For this particular application, I like that. And so now what we can do is offset the antenna just a bit. We're going to need to rotate it so that it does this properly. Get that axis in line with the magnetometer. Right there. There we go. Now we have a balanced craft. So if I put the center of mass and the center of thrust, they are aligned. Perfect. Alright, so now we just need to put this on a launch vehicle. We've got 1700 meters per second delta V. And let's okay, I don't have the access to that right here. So, all right, let's put this on a launch vehicle. And let's not worry about multiple satellites on one launch. Let's just do separate launches for this. because it's a little bit finicky to get 3 of these stacked on something. That took some doing for the comsats, and I don't feel like fussing with the game right now. So let's get coupling. There we go. And we want the TD12 should be a good size. We don't need one that big, actually. The TD06. Awesome. And now we need a fairing. Oh, there we go. Angle snap is back on. And let's paint it silver. Awesome. There we go. Oh, you know what this satellite needs? It needs our flag. We need the inhabitants of of Moho to know who is coming for them. And we want landscape orientation and make it a little bit bigger. There we go. And let's put 3 of them on. There we go. Terran Empire, we're coming to investigate. Alright, and let's take a look in our sub-assemblies at our Arcus 1 medium launch vehicle. And it's already got a fairing that we don't need because we've accounted for that, so let's get rid of that. Forgot that already had a fairing on it. And let's pull it up out of the floor. Like so. Alright, cool. And that has a ton of Delta V. So let's actually... let's use fewer boosters. And let's see, so we've got that engine needs to be in this stage here. And those are the separator engines. Okay, yeah, we're checking our staging here. And yeah, still we have 9 kilometers per second total Delta V here. Definitely overkill. There's a pretty good chance that we will be able to take our transfer stage with us all the way and maybe even get in a capture. We'll find out. We won't be finding out very soon, but we will find out. Okay. Moho Probe 1. I need better names. I really need better names for things. We can name this again. We can name this later. Let's launch it though. Let's get this thing off the ground. In fact, let's take this out to the launch pad, and I am going to go and refill my coffee, and I will be right back. Alright, I am back, and much better. I've got more coffee. Alright, double checking. Yep, audio input capture is on. Back to Kerbal Space Program. And let's move HUD 4 back where we had it. Perfect. Alright, looks like the launch clamps that I removed are the ones that had the lower angle lights, so we don't have the illumination I was hoping for, but that is okay. Alright, so flight recorder up. We want altitude, acceleration, dynamic pressure. Throttle is up, SAS is on, caps lock on for fine-tuned control. And just my mic here. Here we go. All right, and we're going to launch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and launch. Start our pitch over right away here. And in fact, let's roll as well. Oh, we don't have roll control. That's all right. We have just the tiniest reaction wheels on the probe and no RCS. Okay. Not pitching over quite enough. We have maximum aerodynamic pressure. And booster burnout and separation. And continuing our pitch over maneuver. Let's see. There we go. Let's get a cool shot here. We have first stage separation and second engine start. Beautiful. In fact, let's do that again for fairing separation. That was fun. All right. Actually, I don't trust it. Okay, yeah, we're fine. I forgot to change it to a clamshell deploy, but that's all right. All right, so our apoapsis is 170 kilometers. That's where we had estimated our burn from. So it's not particularly important that I stay there, but I'm going to anyway. So let's go ahead and warp to closer to apoapsis. Maybe about 30 seconds out. And second engine start. And now we will circularize an orbit as we raise our periapsis. Okay, this is exciting. We are on our way to another planet. This is our first official deliberate interplanetary probe. While we're up here, we might as well. We have a contract for science data from space around Kerbin, so let's get magnetometer data because we don't have that yet. So let's extend the magnetometer. And let's run magnetometer report. Kerbin has a strong magnetic field for a planet of its size, shielding us from the sun's blasts of radiation, even in this low orbit. Alright, so if we recover it, we get a little bit more science, but that is fine. We're going to transmit that data home to Kerbin. Moho transfer window, yeah. Delete and close. That's what we are doing right now. And we're still circularizing our orbit. I don't know why SAS got turned off. That's interesting. But yeah, that looks a little bit goofy, but it is actually balanced. All right, so we're about to get our periapsis out of inside of Kerbin. There you go. And now we've raised it outside of Kerbin's atmosphere, so we have a safe and stable orbit. Alright, it's not particularly circular, but that is fine. What we want to do now is burn so that we escape Kerbin, but lower our orbit relative to the sun. So here is Moho, that is our target. And rather than have MechJeb, we were only using MechJeb so far to decide when to go. But for now, so what we want to do, so the sun is there. Let's put the sun right at the top of the screen. And so Kerbin is going that way. So what we want to do is burn right about here so that we are escaping Kerbin's atmosphere, or sphere of influence, while also lowering our velocity relative to the sun. So let's go ahead and do that. And that gets us an escape from Kerbin. And changes our orbit to this right here. And look at that. Let's see, our relative inclination is 7 degrees. So we're probably going to need to do an inclination change. We'll do that here at the descending node. But right here, there we go. So that brings us to pretty close to Moho. And yeah, that's a 1500 meter per second burn. And yeah, our upper stage alone could do that. But we actually have 5.6 kilometers per second to spare. So yeah, we're going to see how much of that we can use. Alright, so our maneuver node is in 6 minutes. It's a 1.5 minute burn. So let's get to it. There we are right there. Let's change our craft type, actually. We are a probe, not a relay. It assumes a relay because of this giant antenna, and yes, we do serve as a relay, and hopefully we will be able to communicate home to Kerbin. We will find out. Alright, so we're 5.5 minutes away from the maneuver node. We want to start about 45 seconds away. So let's warp just a bit. Oh, it snapped it. I always forget. Oh, persistent rotation. Love-hate relationship. Alright, we're 2 minutes out. One minute out. Alright, so now let's go ahead and chase that maneuver node. Good, we do have control. And let's throttle up. Most of our attitude control is from the gimbal of the engine. A little bit is provided by the reaction wheels inside of the Probodobodine hex core. We got some interesting shading on those clouds there. Let's look this way. Oh, we got a solar eclipse. Look at that. They're not that rare since we're not the moon is not in an inclined orbit, but still they're fun to see. Just enjoy the eclipse here. Alright, do need to pay attention to the maneuver though, because we are halfway, almost 2/3 through it. Make a slight attitude adjustment here. And we are on an escape trajectory from Kerbin. Deliberately this time. For the first time, this is a deliberate escape trajectory. Alright, almost done with the burn. Let's take a look at our map view. And that looks good right there. Awesome. So now at the descending node, we will want to make a plane change. So let's add a maneuver there. That's a descending node, so we'll want to burn normal. And so yeah, our inclination is flat, but Moho is on a slightly inclined orbit, so we need to adjust. And let's actually pin... Oh, we've lost our target. There we go. Let's pin the ascending node so that we can see how this is going to affect it. And that's going to be a 1 kilometer per second burn there. So good thing we've got some extra to deal with. All right, now hopefully MechJeb didn't lead us astray. It's not always super precise. Can I coax an encounter out of this? I would love to get a confirmation of an encounter. Okay. Not a big fan of that. Okay, so let's see if we can get something better out of this. What if we pivot the orbit this way? Yeah, I don't like that at all. MechJeb, are you leading me astray? Alright, let's kill that. Alright, if we look straight from the top down... Let's go ahead... Okay, so we have a Kerbin escape in 1 day and 4 hours. Let's go ahead and warp to there. Cancel. I can just do it this way. And let's watch Kerbin recede. Look at that. That is... Okay, no wonder the clouds look like that. That's the shadow. Let's close that, but not delete it so that we remember it. That's the shadow of the moon. Right there. Okay, yep, our electric charge is looking steady. No surprise there. Current body is still Kerbin. Goodbye, Kerbin. One way or another, we're leaving. No Kerbals aboard, so the worst that can happen is I lose some Space-Os, but not a Kerbal. So that is fine. Getting tiny in the distance. Alright, where is our sphere of influence change? Yeah, we're definitely in space high. Okay, SOI change. Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, it added the alarm anyway. I told it to cancel. That's what that is. Okay. Alright, we are in space high around the sun. And we have a good ComNet path to Kerbin. So let's do the magnetometer experiment again. Nice. Okay, another 75 of science. You've measured the interaction between the solar wind and the magnetic field of this body as it deflects charged particles. Excellent. And will that let me continue the transmission after we've charged up the batteries a bit? I hope so. do I have to start over? Oh, that could be a problem. All right, let's add more batteries for the next mission. All right, can I improve my power situation by getting exposure to both of these solar panels? Let's try that. Let's see. Here. Did it send it? Or did it completely delete the data because... Yeah, let's try that again. I don't think I actually got that data. In fact, I don't think I got the data from low Kerbin orbit either. All right, let's try this. Don't think. Oh, sad day. Not enough electric charge. Well, we're not going to be able to get the magnetometer data. Oh, that's too bad because this is drawing too much power. Okay, but let's get some temperature data though. That's we've definitely got that. Measuring the temperature of space appears to be quite impossible, as there is no matter around to be either hot or cold, except the spacecraft and the thermometer itself. This is probably going to give the R&D guys something to think about for a while. We've seen that one before. This one... Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Not enough electric charge. Oh. Now let's charge up those batteries then. There we go. Okay, so that I can get transmitted. So at least we can get something. Log pressure data. Instrument reads 0. It's as if it was in a vacuum. Yeah, we know. All right, 100%. Let's charge the batteries one more time. I think there's one more experiment we can get. Telemetry data, can we get that? No. Okay, I must be thinking of something from Realism Overhaul. Well, that's too bad. But here's the thing. Do we know if we can even get to Moho? Because our transfer window appears to possibly be faulty. Let's add a maneuver here in 1 hour. And let's see if we can tweak this at all, and if we get any sort of... That's raising our orbit. Right, because we're in orbit around the sun now. Okay. I was still as if I was in Kerbin's sphere of influence. Maybe what we need to do is just continue like this and get a real quick flyby, because we aren't going for a flyby at our lowest relative velocity. We're just going for a flyby. So the question is, can we get one? And like this, I think we're going to miss because of our inclination. Yeah, we definitely are. So let's do one at the descending node. Pin that again, and let's get our inclination matched. And lower our orbit. And this is going to get us pretty close. Yep, our separation is definitely dropping quickly. And we've lost the encounter, but I think we'll get it back. Yep, there it is. Okay, and this will get us our flyby. It'll be a very quick flyby, but it will be a flyby. "20 kilometers. Oh, we've overshot. Yeah, this is a tricky one. Let's go to here, and we want smaller scale. What is this doing to it? Lowering it. Okay, cool. Let's raise the scale. We're just changing slightly when we're doing this maneuver. Getting closer. 60-kilometer approach. And no doubt we'll need to do a mid-course correction as well. Another one. But let's see how well we can plan this particular maneuver. That is an encounter right there. All right. 1,333 meters per second. 1 1/3 kilometers per second, and that's in 52 days. Let's add an alarm for that. Yeah, let's get rid of that SOI change. We don't need that. And let's create an alarm for this maneuver. Moho mid-course correction. And add alarm. Okay, so yes, in 52 days, we will be revisiting this craft and adjusting its orbit. All right, so let's go back to the Space Center. We've still got half an hour we can play with. Let's make some adjustments to this craft so that the one we send to Jool is more capable. Coffee. All right, we're going to load this up. We're going to slap a couple more batteries on it so that we have enough electrical charge in reserve for actually sending the data. Which means we are going to need to adjust the balance, because we're going to throw our torque off by doing this. Okay, that doubles the charge, reduces our delta V, but that is fine. We have more than enough. And in fact, let's add, let's see, that gives 100, it's 400. This actually might be a really good way to balance the craft. That 400 one is just huge. It's too big. All right, so yeah, our torque, 0.16 kilonewton meters, 0.12 kilonewton meters. All right, so if I move this here and copy it. I don't think this is actually affecting it. Yeah. Ugh. Lame. Alright, yeah, we're going to have to... Yeah, it doesn't actually calculate... It calculates the change in delta V. Like, you can see the delta V changing from 1677 to 1668. But it doesn't actually calculate physics on the center of mass and such. So, and that is a compromise in the game to save on performance. So let's go ahead and shift this. And again, it looks like we're going to need to rotate it. Actually, no, this one's already... Okay, I had the battery selected. This is fine. Okay, perfect. And we're on local. And let's just move that ever so slightly over. That's as close as we are going to get there. There we go. Now we have a balanced craft. Let's put the separator back on and Come on. There we go. That was a little weird. All right, let's double check our staging. So we've got our main engine, we've got the launch clamps, we've got the boosters, then we've got the separators and the separatrons. Then we stage there and light that stage, and then we've got the fairing. Okay, cool. Let's rotate these. So we've got better illumination. Beautiful. All right, yeah, just in case we've got a night launch, because that sunny sky out there is, it's just a backdrop. That's not actually representative of Kerbin and Kerbin's weather. All right, so let's do Jool probe 1. Save, and yeah, we still have almost 9 kilometers per second of delta V total. And let's launch this thing. I should let the clock run forward before doing this. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. We let a couple days pass on the previous mission, but I definitely want the clock advancing as we get ever closer to bringing, potentially, hopefully, fingers crossed, bringing Jebediah home. Yeah, as I expected, it is middle of the night here. All right, flight recorder up. Jool is our target. Altitude, acceleration, dynamic pressure. Let's set the camera target right now. Perfect. And let's see. Let's do something fun here. Set camera position with a click. And let's watch the launch from atop the VAB. And is that gonna work? No, because we're doing auto flyby. Okay. Okay, target is set position. There we go. All right, we're going to watch the launch from on top of the VAB. All right, fine control is on, SAS is on, throttle up. All right, and we are going to launch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and launch. And we'll begin our pitch over maneuver. Beautiful. And vehicle is supersonic. We're going to point prograde now. Look at that. That just looks great. All right, we have booster separation now. There they go, and we are well past maximum aerodynamic pressure as well. All right, let's go ahead and end that, and we'll do auto flyby now. Ooh, we're getting toasty here. All right, we have main engine cutoff and stage separation and second engine start. Looking great. Oh, and I still haven't changed it to clamshell deploy. I can't do that from here, rip. That's all right. All right, and we're coming up on stage separation now. Fairing deploy, rather, not stage separation. Okay, yeah, I'm loving this camera tools mod. This is fun. All right, and our apoapsis is 170. I'm gonna cut the engine there, and let's warp about 3 minutes forward. There we go. And second engine start 2. And I can't resist. Nice. Alright, and now we just let this burn for a bit and get to orbit. And then see what kind of a flyby we can make out of this. So we're going to do the exact opposite as last time. Last time we burned while we were between Kerbin and the sun, so that we would escape Kerbin while lowering our orbit relative to the sun. This time we're going to keep Kerbin between us and the sun so that we can raise our orbit relative to the sun. Everything is looking nominal. I don't know if you can hear the sounds from outside. I've got my window open because it is hot in this room. There's a basketball being bounced outside, but it's not too loud, so maybe you can't hear it. Not a big deal either way. Alright, and we're watching our periapsis come up. And there we have a safe orbit. And we'll just circularize it just a bit. There we go, that's about as circular as we're going to get without coming back around. So now let's make our maneuver node. Okay, so there's the sun. So we're actually... yeah, we're going to want to come back around to about here. And that there is Jool. So let's burn prograde. And I think it said about, it was either 1500 or 2000 meters per second was the burn. And we are in not nearly as much of an inclination, so that will be helpful. In fact, we're pretty much at the node. This is looking better. Okay. Looks like to get an optimal encounter, we'll want to burn a little bit later than this. Okay, and it is 2 kilometers per second, so that's about half of our delta V. So we got plenty to play with because we're not planning to do a capture. We can try to get an aero capture on Lathe, which is a moon of Jool that is very similar to Kerbin. In composition, it's got a whole lot less land mass, but it's got a breathable atmosphere, and I think about 1 G of gravity. So I'm going to leave it there, not quite all the way out, and then we'll do a course correction that will shift the orbit just a little bit and get us a more optimal encounter. So this is in 31 minutes, and it's a 2-minute burn. So let's go ahead and warp to here. Watching our electric charge. We are fine. Excellent. Hey, welcome to the chat. DXJX Sus. What does your name mean? I'm very curious about these. And yeah, welcome to the chat. We are sending our first interplanetary probes in this playthrough. I just sent one to Moho and found out that it does not have enough battery power to transmit the magnetometer data, which is unfortunate. So this is upgraded. In fact, I need to extend my solar panels now. So this has more battery reserves so that I can hopefully actually send the magnetometer data and get that science. Just say DX, it's my middle name. Nice. DX, yes, welcome to the chat. Alright, yeah, so it's we're on the dark side now. So and that's deliberate. We need to be on this side of Kerbin to burn to raise our orbit relative to the sun. And we're going to burn in about 20 seconds. And this is a probe headed to Jool. You think it's worth getting this game? Well, I'm a little bit biased as I play it, and quite a bit. I think so, especially if you can get it on a Steam sale. It's hard to say when when Kerbal Space Program 2 is coming out. It should be sometime in the first half of next year. All right, we're gonna light the engine here. But in my opinion, if you think you're gonna enjoy it, play on PS4. I've never played this on the console. I can't imagine myself playing it on a console, but I know a lot of people do and really enjoy it. The interface is a whole lot more difficult to deal with on console, as you don't have the fine control with a mouse. So, I mean, I highly recommend the game for PC, but it is a lot of fun, and I know that they will be releasing KSP 2 on consoles as well, but initially it will be an only PC release, and then they'll be porting it. And hopefully it'll be a better port than KSP 1 had. But yeah, there are plenty of people who play it on console and really enjoy it. Alright, we are almost halfway through this burn. Let's take a look at what our orbit is doing. And we have an escape. For the second time, we are deliberately on an escape trajectory from Kerbin, instead of accidentally sending our Kerbinauts. These guys here weren't supposed to go this far out, and so we're waiting for them to come home. Jebediah is stuck here, and Valentina and Bob are stuck there. And they need to be rescued. But while we wait for them to come back to the sphere of influence of Kerbin, we are continuing to explore the solar system. But yeah, I'm definitely biased. I'm always going to say yes, it's worth buying Kerbal Space Program. Alright. Almost there. Let's reduce thrust a little bit to get some finer control at the end of the burn. Chase the maneuver marker on the nav ball to correct for minor errors. There we go. That is really close. So now if we, at the descending node, let's do it there. Let's add a maneuver. That's in 14 days, so we're not going to do this yet. So it's a descending node, so we will want, did it not add? There we go. We want to burn normal. And let's pin the ascending node. And this will correct our inclination relative to Jool. Excellent. And we will also want to continue to burn prograde and get our encounter. And there it is. And Jool is a big gas giant, so it's really easy to get an encounter with Jool. Alright. And that is only 300 meters per second. Let's add an alarm for that. Maneuver. And we want this to be Jool. Oh, caps lock on. Jool course correction. Add alarm. Perfect. Alright, so that is 2 probes off in interplanetary space. So we are still around Kerbin, so let's go ahead and let's test how good our battery is. Oh, world's first milestones, right. We have gathered the first scientific data from the sun. Yes, we did. Cool. And the sun, I believe, is about to come up. We're getting a little bit of that pre-dawn glow. There it is. Kerbin sunrise. Beautiful. Cool, and that gives us renewed electric charge. Let's see if we can get that magnetometer data this time. Run magnetometer report. Take a sip of my coffee here. Alright. Kerbin's magnetic field is weaker out here, but is still easily detectable, and this instrument maps the field fluctuations as they radiate into deeper space. Now, last time we tried it, we were in space low, now we're in space high. Let's go ahead and transmit that. The loss is minimal. And do we have enough electric charge? Please? Oh my gosh, we're so close. Oh, that is truly upsetting. Let's see. Yeah, we already have that data. Well, shoot. Okay, allow partial. Oh, maybe we can. Okay, good. It is... Okay, so we still have some data. Let's time warp a little bit as our batteries charge in the sun. Yeah, our solar panels are sufficient, especially for our Moho probe. This is going to get a little iffier as it'll take a lot longer to recharge the batteries out at Jool because we will be getting a lot less solar radiation. But let's see, we have 58 science points. Let's finish transmitting the data. Oh, come on. It's not going to do it. Aborting transmission, returning data. Oh my goodness, this is not okay. Let's try one more time. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to add yet another battery to this thing. Oh, garbage. We more than doubled our battery power, and it's not enough to send the entirety of the magnetometer data. That's rough. But it's a learning experience, so that's something. We need these solar panels to face the sun. Okay. Oh. There we go. Oh, that's why the stability assist was turned off last time, is because I ran out of battery power, and that turns that off. That's a nice view back there, though. I always mention the nice view, I know. Review data. Transmit data. Okay, please. We're so close to having enough. We get 95% of the way. Oh, that is not fair. That is not fair. Oh. Alright, we will still send this to Jool, though, but lesson learned, let's add another couple of these batteries on the outside. Oh, that hurts. That hurts real bad. We can add battery there, too. Alright, but we've got 10 minutes. Let's go back to the Space Center. Let's make that adjustment and do one more launch. Because we are... I believe it's the Eve window is next. Or is it Elu? It's Elu, I believe. Let's take a look. Jool transfer window, Jool course correction. What have we got? No. Okay. But let's send the backup missions. let's make these adjustments and let's send backup missions. This is a little expensive, but it is very worthwhile, I believe, and it's something that we can do in the last 10 minutes here. And this is something that if I was a more competent engineer, I would have been able to tell. Oh, right, let's make this clamshell deploy. And let's name it Jool Probe 1B. So let's rename it after we launch it. And let's separate this here. Get that out of the way. All right, so electric charge. This holds 510 units. And it's not enough. And it's only barely not enough. Okay, so let's take this. And now it holds 710. That will be enough. That will definitely be enough. And this doesn't upset our balance. Fantastic. Alright, and let's launch this twice and call it Moho Probe 1B and Jool Probe 1B. Alright, save, launch. One thing that I think would probably be easier and nicer on console is controlling in-flight, because you'd have those joysticks. I really want to get one of those HOTAS controllers with the throttle and joystick, but even though you don't need the top-of-the-line, ridiculously expensive one to get a good one, a decent one still is a few $100, and I can't quite justify it yet, but I might put it on my Christmas list, see if someone gets that for me. Alright, Moho first. Flight recorder on. Altitude, acceleration, and dynamic pressure. Another thing, I don't think you can get... I don't know what the modding situation is on consoles. I would suspect that you don't have mods, and I'm running some quality of life mods. All the parts are stock, so you could launch exactly this rocket on console, but some of these readouts up here in the HUD, those are from mods. The clouds, etc., those are from mods, so keep that in mind as well. But the game is definitely very playable and an absolutely beautiful game, even completely vanilla stock. Alright, so throttle up, SAS on. This time we're launching at dawn. Alright, and we are launching in 5, 4, 3... Wait, let's... camera tools. We want to watch the launch. Let's see, set target and set position. This time, let's watch from right over there. All right, and close that. Oh, we want to turn off the flyby. There we go. Let's watch it from the monument over here. There we go. I like that. And let's auto zoom margin. Let's zoom in a little bit more. There we go. I like that a lot. All right, now resume countdown. That was an unplanned hold, but we're good to go. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. We'll start our pitch over. Yes, I like this a lot. This is great. Vehicle is supersonic. Now we're coming up on SRB burnout. We have SRB burnout and separation confirmed. And we're well past our maximum aerodynamic pressure. Let's go ahead and close the flight recorder graph. And we have main engine cutoff and stage separation and second engine start. Look at the stars coming out. Even this high resolution skybox is getting pixelated here. All right, and let's go ahead and separate the fairing. Fairing deploy confirmed. I might have to close my window. There's kids playing outside. Yeah, you can hear that. I'm sure I can see it on the graph in OBS. All right, let's shut down our second engine. And I'm going to close this window real quick. There we go. All right, and we're about 3 minutes away from Apoapsis. Let's time warp just a little bit. Okay, we're in space low. Let's extend our solar panels, and let's get that magnetometer data. This is the third time we've tried this. Let's get it. Run magnetometer experiment. We don't have enough power now. I'll end the stream because it's time to end the stream. All right, let's transmit. Oh, this is looking better. This is looking so much better. Hooray! I'm so happy about that. Okay. Finally. Okay. All right, so let's get our orbit. We have time to get orbit and then get the magnetometer data from in space high above Kerbin. All right. And second engine start number 2. And we can do the cool flyby from the Camera Tools mod. Let's zoom back out. I like about 32-ish. Beautiful. All right, and we're still in space low. We won't be in space high until we're on our escape trajectory. And yeah, this one we're sending to Moho. Let's rename it. Rename vessel Moho Probe 1B. And name it, or classify it as a probe. Excellent. And yeah, I need to spend some time between streams coming up with a better naming scheme. I've got my launchers named. The medium launcher that this was launched on was the Arcus launcher. And when I design the heavy launch system, it will be called Callisto. So Arcus and Callisto, the Ursa Minor and Ursa Major, Little Dipper and Big Dipper. So those were the names of the characters in mythology. I mean, we're from Kerbin, so we don't know whose mythology that is, but we heard about that somewhere. And since I'm a man-bear pig, and bears are pretty cool, we're going with bear names for the launchers, and I'm thinking maybe pig names for the actual missions. All right, we have a good orbit. Circularize just a bit. That's good enough. That's as good as we're going to get here. All right, and since we're going to Moho, this time our burn will be illuminated well. So there's the sun. So what we need to do is come around this side of Kerbin, and if we burn this way, we will be increasing our speed relative to Kerbin while decreasing it relative to the sun, which will mean we escape but lower our orbit around the sun. So let's zoom in. We're actually in a really nice position for that. Add maneuver. And let's go ahead and increase it. This is a part that I have a hard time envisioning how this would be user-friendly on a console. Oh, we've got a Minmus or a moon encounter. We don't want that. It's gumming up the works. And deflecting our orbit, but I think that'll be fine. As long as we don't have a collision, we'll be okay. But it is interfering with the patched conics. But not anymore. Okay, cool. We have avoided the moon encounter, but that's too much burn. There we go. All right, yeah, 1500 meter per second burn, and it will be in 2 minutes, a 1.5 minute burn. So let's do this burn, and then we will call it for today. I'll launch the Jool 1B probe off camera between streams, but we will wait to continue the mission until we are on stream. All right, let's point prograde. And speed up the game a little bit so we can get to about 45 seconds ahead of the maneuver node. That way it will be evenly spaced, our burn before and after the actual node. All right, there we go. Stability assist, and let's turn back on. All right, let's burn. Turn back on our engine. And I'll be manually following the maneuver marker. And here goes our orbit. Raising our orbit relative to Kerbin, but as soon as we are outside of Kerbin's sphere of influence, burning this direction will lower our orbit around the sun, so that we'll get closer to Moho, which is the closest planet to Kerbal, the sun. And yeah, it'll be a little bit more expensive in Delta V for these follow-up probes, but we can definitely do it. These vessels have plenty of Delta V. There's our moon encounter as we're blowing right past it. Almost past the moon encounter here. Moon always trying to wreak havoc on our missions. I'm surprised we haven't had... Well, I'm not surprised we haven't had this issue before, because this is the first time we've deliberately gone interplanetary. Our previous missions have been to the moon or to Minmus. So, of course, we haven't had this issue before. But from here on out, it's going to be an issue. All right, that is our maneuver. Let's see, where are we going to end up? That looks pretty good. And so here at the descending node, we will want to do our course correction. So let's plan that real quick. Actually, I'm going to plan that off camera. That's going to take some tweaking. So let's break that. Let's just go ahead and get into space high above Kerbin, and let's get let's get that science data this time. In space high. Okay, cool. Now we have full electric charge thanks to our solar panels, and run magnetometer report. Alright, Kerbin's magnetic field is weaker out here, but still easily detectable, and this instrument maps the field fluctuations as they radiate into deeper space. Transmit. Closer than I'd like, but we successfully transmitted. All right, and that gives us 156. So, yeah, let's get it from in space around the sun as well. There's the moon. All right, and now we are in space, high around the sun, and our batteries are charged. Let's run the magnetometer experiment one more time. You've measured the interaction between the solar wind and the magnetic field of this body as it deflects charged particles. All right, now this is a bigger packet of science, so maybe we don't have the charge. We'll find out. I think it's by the multiplier though, so I think we'll be fine. It's the same size packet actually. Awesome. Okay. 76 science added. That's 231. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to unlock some science, because I want to do that on stream, not off, and I want to use whatever I unlock to design more ships between streams so that we can launch next week. And then I don't want to go too far over because I need to relieve my wife from baby duty so that she can continue working on a Halloween costume for my stepdaughter. All right, so what we want here, everything in here is what we can afford. Can't afford anything in this tier, just this tier. So we have 4 options. Actuators give us the grabbing unit, the claw, as well as rotation servos and hinges. Those are nice. Advanced aerodynamics gives us another turboshaft engine. That one's for a helicopter specifically. More blades, fan shrouds, which I haven't figured out how to properly use yet. Air brakes. Ooh, that's tempting. More control surfaces. Advanced landing gives us a light-duty rotor and bigger landing legs and a bigger heat shield. Specialized control gives us that avionics hub. And these, I'm going to go for advanced landing, specifically for these. I think I might need these for the ducted fan that I have. So let's go ahead and research advanced landing. And that will be our stream. Let's see who we can raid. Thank you, DX, for showing up. I hope this interested you in the game. And let's take a look at who is playing Kerbal Space Program. There are a lot of people watching at the moment, so I think there might be some big names on. Okay. Looks like, yeah, everyone's watching EJSA. Let's raid someone small, though. Many multi-manned moon missions, Kerbal Space Program career mode, Vexing and KSP, maybe Minmus later. All right, let's take a look at Bert the Gorilla. That's not someone I know. This is as usual, this is a blind raid since there are not a whole lot of people that stream Kerbal Space Program, but let's take a look at Bert the Gorilla, who's doing Kerbal Space Program career mode and started about an hour ago, so that is good. Let me join and mute so we don't get feedback, and let's start a raid. Yep, as usual, thanks for watching, and I will be back next week for a continuation of these missions to interplanetary space, and on Wednesday I'll be playing some Minecraft in the evening. And there's Bert the Gorilla. All right, I'm going to start the raid. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.